Hey traders, welcome to the weekly Forex forecast for the 13th of October. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. There's some fantastic setups happening as we speak, getting ready for next week. So stand by, get your notepads ready, and let's get into it. One of the things, or several keys to your success in trading, is understand where demand is, where supply is, where market structure is. This is gold on steroids. And we can see quite clearly where the demand is, can't we? Straight away we can see that the price has changed character here, which means that everything goes green. We expect the price to come down into a 1, 2, 3 pattern. It does that. In addition to that, once it's outside the channel, which it is clearly here, we expect a deep correction. And as I mentioned in the VIP signals room, there was a buy signal here. Okay, and if you see this happening on your 10-minute chart, exactly the same, then there's a great opportunity to make a lot of money. So whether you get in on demand is totally up to you at that early stage of that move, or whether you wait for change of character. This is a 9 SMA, and as soon as the price moves above this black line, then it's a buy, and especially if the price remains above this price, it's a buy, a nice 200 or 300 pip move. Congratulations on the euro pound this week, nice move down. Congratulations on the euro Canadian, moving up lovely. Congratulations on the euro Aussie, nice move there. Could have had a lot more, couldn't we? Back up into supply, 291 pips was possible here. What else? Aussie Swiss, congratulations. This hit our target of 52.96. Perfect entry and a perfect profit. One of the things that we must ensure is that you understand what market structure is and what it looks like. So let me just explain that before we go into the charts and explain how this works. Probably better to come off the euro as an example. Euro dollar this is. So this is the daily chart on the Advanced Pro charts. And as you can see, this green zone here are Fibonacci calculations automatically given to you on your chart. So as the price comes down into a fib, then it bounces off it. Can come in quite deep, of course, can come in down to 80%, as much as that. We don't know how or where, but nonetheless we can see how this gives us a clear market structure into the trade, and I'll go through that throughout this video in the next 15 minutes so you get a better flavor of what you're looking for in terms of trading success. So let's go into the DXY, and we can see that this is still in a downtrend from the Fibonacci sequence, and so actually this is not a bad example, is it? So we can see that as the price comes into here, into here, into here, into here, we can see that there's selling opportunities here, and I think this is going to move into a sell in the next few days, early next week possibly. I need to be clear on this. I need to see some price action below this trend line. But nonetheless, if it does that, we can expect to go to 96.86 or even as deep as 94.95 or 96.20, somewhere around there, 22, which is the previous low from the previous week. So look out for that. Weaker dollar is likely, but not confirmed yet. Now the euro dollar looks really good, doesn't it? It's coming deep into this the demand area, and so we can expect the price to bounce into this week and head for 11874. Pound USD is slightly different. As you can see, this has bounced off with a negative divergence here, and highly likely to move down to 131, 132. Actually looking at that, so we can expect something like this, and a potential buy is coming up, but it's going to be a correction rather than a continuation. Aussie USD is looking rather like euro dollar, isn't it? As you can see, as it comes down in deep into this support area, then we can expect the price to move. And we can have a look at that on the lower time frame, the 4-hour chart, and we can actually see where this move is in terms of price action. We can see this here. It's moving into a buy power of 75 almost immediately on Monday. So look out for that. This could be a buying opportunity if the dollar weakens immediately. So one to watch out for. But before you enter that, then I would suggest just checking on the DXY, just making sure it's going weak. Now the Kiwi is acting slightly differently to the Aussie USD, as you can see here. It's got some weakness in it and continuation, so we do expect it to come down to 55.36, which is the support area. And we can see this on the 4-hour chart here. You can see we've got a buy power 72, but there's no convergence. So convergence is right down here at 55.30. So not my favourite. The Aussie USD is looking much better for a buy if the DXY goes weak. US yen saw a rally last week, didn't we? As expected, it hit our target of 150. Congratulations, VIP members. Beautiful move. We do expect a correction in this if the dollar goes weak, of course. So the price is highly likely to move back down to this kind of area and then move up again, depending on where the dollar goes next. But a very nice move, and we can see that on the lower time frame. On the 4-hour chart, we can see this here. Beautiful move here, down into a buy power of 78. Very, very high and into demand. And we can see that the price shot up into our target 150. 150. Could have gone a lot more, but nonetheless, a very nice move in any case. I'm going to go through every chart today just to give you my thoughts and feelings on what is happening. This is the US Canadian. Some of you trade it, some of you don't. This is another good example of trading the support lines on the fibs on the Advanced Pro charts. When you see this pattern going on, this is really good. This is a 1, 2, 3, but there's also this is very common throughout the markets on any time frame. You can see this throughout the markets. So we can see this price is now moving, hit our target from last week's weekly Forex forecast, 139.52, and highly likely to see a deep correction into the markets if the dollar does go weak, as we expect. So something like this is highly likely into this kind of area. So a trading opportunity for a correction, I think so, but certainly not ready yet. As we can see from the 4-hour chart, we don't have that convergence, divergence, or change of character. So it's definitely early days for this one. Better trades are available. Okay, let's go into the US Swiss. Let's hit our target from last week, 80.47. Congratulations if you traded the US Swiss. We can see it's now moving into a very strong supply area, a resistance area. It could, of course, move up slightly with a stronger dollar into this week, but then be rejected around here before it starts to move. And that's in sync with the DXY, isn't it? Possibly. So look out for that. But there's a trading opportunity here to be had into next week, something I will be looking for. Again, if we have a look at the 4-hour chart, we can see we do have a sell power of 72, which is very strong. Don't really have convergence. I think this price may need to move up, as I mentioned, up into this area or even up into this area first before it does start to fall in sync with the US dollar. So there's a couple of dollars to look out for, dollar pairs. Let's go into the yen futures, looking very weak indeed, as we can see from this Advanced Pro charts on the daily. I do expect a little bit of a correction into 66.55 before it does start to move down. What this means in terms of correlation it simply means that we are looking for buys across the board in terms of the yen pairs. All right, so buys into the yen pairs next week are looking red hot. So this is the Swiss yen. Congratulations on that move there, 379 pips back in August. But we did see this correction here back into this beautiful chart here. These are really amazing, aren't they? As you can see here, the price came down into this area, bounced straight off it, and then went straight back up. So another trading opportunity there. So I think we are likely, due to these lines here, this is negative divergence. It looks pretty negative, doesn't it? So I think a correction is likely. I don't really want to be buying while it's so high. I would much prefer it come down into this area here before it actually starts to make a move. And we can see that clearly here. This is the Swiss yen on the 4-hour chart. We don't be buying up here at supply. Buy on demand, sell on supply. That's how it works. So I think there's going to be a deeper correction into this kind of area. It might not hit the perfect 184 here. It might not hit the 184. What we can do here, let's just do something. Let's do Fibonacci, shall we? So let's do a bit of fun, just a bit of fun. So, there we go. So we can see where the Fibonacci is. I suspect what's going to happen, let me draw a rectangle. So the top of this line is the 50% fib. The bottom is the 618 of that bullish move. Let's change that to green. So I think what's going to happen into next week, we're going to see a correction into this move here, and it's going to do something like this. So as the price comes down, it's going to come into this Fibonacci 50%, may even go deep, deep, deep. It could even obviously go down here. But if there is a move where the price holds above this and comes back out above this, then this is a continuation pattern. This is a shallow, comparably shallow correction, and then the price breaks, and that is a continuation pattern back to 191. Now this area here is about 188, so there's plenty of pips there for everybody. Now at the point of entry, we just make sure that the yen futures are weakening. That's the point, and they are. So just make sure at that time you have some correlation. Looking good though, looking good. Not ready yet, but certainly could be ready early next week. Similar situation for the euro yen. Can you see this? Hit our target 175, and so now we wait for the deeper correction. We can do exactly the same, can't we? We can grab the Fibonacci, and we've got this area here to look out for. I won't be trading into this area automatically, unlike my reversal system. The reversal system is excellent, and so as an example, this was a correction into this area here. I'm in at this point here on demand, where with a continuation pattern with euro yen, I am waiting for the price to continue. Continuation pattern. So there's going to be a deeper correction into this area. It may come in deeper. Then once it turns around, I'm looking for the price to become a buy like this. So as soon as it moves above the 9 SMA and holds above the 9 SMA, then I'm looking for an entry point. And you'll get a green dot once it does that, or red dot once it does that. So you've got a red dot at the moment, as you can see. So that indicates that the price is holding below the 9 SMA and is highly likely to be negative for the moment. But we can see from the daily that this is bullish, very bullish. In other words, we've got weaker yen futures. Could go a long, long way this. We made a lot of money many years ago on the yens, and clients did as well, many hundreds of thousands when the yen collapsed. One client in particular was very happy. He was waking up in the middle of the night making hundreds of thousands over 3 months. Anyway, so here we can see a same pattern occurring here with the Aussie yen. This is definitely one to watch out for. It's come deeper into this area already. So we can see this on the left as an example of the price now moving into this demand area. So this is very interesting. I think it comes into here, 96.80, around here with a double bottom. We are looking for a red hot buy here with a power of 75. Very, very strong. Very, very strong. So this could move higher. And we've already got our target established, haven't we? Can you see it? 101.78, coinciding with this supply area here as well. So some big moves coming. New Zealand yen, much the same. Look out for that. Canadian yen, exactly the same. Look out for that. 107.30 is the number to watch out for. Could come in deeper. Remember, the advanced pro charts tell you when to buy. Pound yen, look out for a correction here. Deeper, deeper, deeper. We can do the fibs again if you like. Very quickly, left click to the top, and there is your support line. If it's going to continue, and it's likely it will, then you're going to see this price bounce into this area here. If it comes down into here, the 197.48, then get ready, because that is definitely going to be a buy into that. Now the Swiss franc futures is looking really interesting, as we can see here, back up to 128.37. Which is the target for this week. What that means in terms of the Swiss pairs, we are looking for sales on those. None of them are ready yet, but looking red hot. I'll keep you posted with those. Silver, a lot of you are trading silver, so congratulations. We're not seeing any pullbacks at all here. The last pullback was in August. Double bottom there, sort of kind of thing, but nothing really pulling back into these areas here. So I think there's going to be the pullback's going to be well overdue. Let's put it that way. Gold, it's finished on Friday at $4,016, and we can see that on the gold on steroids software. I don't see anything changing, to be honest. I think there is going to be a correction at some stage. This is gold here on the 4-hour chart. I think there's going to be the correction may have occurred actually down to 139.44. We don't have any confirmation. Sell power 47. This is very weak. In other words, highly likely to break out there. So we have to wait and see on Monday. Going through the indices have pulled back significantly overnight. On Friday, something happened on Friday, so we are keeping an eye on these. Pull back, pull back, pull back down to 93.04 on the FTSE. Hang Seng, now this is red hot. This is something to keep an eye on if it bounces, and it's come into this deep into this demand area here on the left, which is very strong, and buy power of 78, very, very strong. So look out for that. That's highly likely to bounce and head for 27,295 this week. Similar for the Aussie 200, needs to come down to 87.46 before you buy into this demand area, but looks red hot. Keep an eye on that one. German DAX index, again a deeper correction is likely, as previously mentioned. Hit our target 24,684. New target here, 23,505. Which is a correction, by the way. This is not a continuation. This is a correction before it moves up again. The Dow Jones looks really lovely. That is a beautiful chart where it's broken down, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for prices to break down into support areas, and then demand, as the name suggests, this is where demand is. The settings are really important, so make sure your settings are correct. Most people get them wrong. Buy power of 80. Very strong buy coming on the Dow Jones index. 46,954 is your target. Good luck. Similar to the Nasdaq, but not exactly a strong demand area, but the Dow Jones is looking better. Euro Aussie, congratulations on this one. It came down into this demand area and bounced beautifully with a double bottom and a very strong demand area of 73. Euro Canadian is a good buy, continuation pattern heading for 163.84. Beautiful move. Euro Pound Canadian not as good, but bounced off support. Bitcoin is looking red hot, by the way. This is a beautiful chart. It's coming into demand, and we have a change of character. Let me just go on the daily. So let's go on the daily. So this is a change of character to the upside. So we've got this pattern going on here, and this is where it could go reach the $250,000 quite quickly, actually. But your target for now is going to be 126,000 into next week. So that's it. Some wonderful charts going on here, guys. Please don't ignore them. If you want the signals, click on the links below. If you want to join my trading team, click on the links below. If you want me to keep you updated, it's totally up to you. I don't mind either way. I only coach people who are serious. If you're not serious, don't bother.